Welcome to Hispanic Biz Success Stories. We interview business owners who've built successful businesses to learn from them their story, the challenges, their triumphs, in the hopes that you find these stories interesting and educational. Today we have the great fortune of interviewing a wonderful gentleman, Mr. Daniel Morales of Big Boy Concessions. Mr. Morales, thank you for being with us today.
No, it is a pleasure for me to be here.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. So Big Boy Concessions, what is Big Boy Concessions?
Well, what we do, we sell like concession goods. The main items are ice cream. We actually are distributors for Blue Bunny ice cream, and we have we wholesale the ice cream. We wholesale candies, chips, popcorn, candy apples, everything that has to do with concessions. And we wholesale to a lot of independent that have their own trucks. And we also have some of our units like in the downtown area, and we sell a lot of vending carts. And so that's what we are actually. We are concession goods, you know.
And you also manufacture?
Yes, we manufacture for dry goods. We manufacture like the canned candy apples, popcorn. We also make syrup for snow cones. We also make fruit bars, Hispanic fruit bars, and that's some of the items that we manufacture.
And your brand name for the fruit bars?
That's Frutiki fruit bars.
And you find those all over town?
Yes, we actually sell them all around El Paso, and we have them on some stores with freezers and that's mainly what we do with them.
Mr. Morales, how'd you come into the business?
Well, actually I was born into the business because my dad was actually started the business in 1955. I was born in 1952, so my dad actually was always, selling. He was selling ice cream. He started selling ice cream for a company called Red Wing on the 50s, and he was working and selling ice cream from the Good Humor trucks on those days. And he later part from the company to work on his own. And since the trucks at those times, were a little expensive for him to buy the trucks, so what he did, and this is very, very exciting that I think happened, is that he built an ice cream truck on his own. I remember it was a 1955, a 1955 Chevrolet truck, panel truck, like a station wagon, but those trucks don't have windows on the side. And what he did, he actually put a refrigerator, a house refrigerator on the side. Not he actually it's upright, the refrigerators, but he actually put it like on the side, and he put it on the back of the truck, and then he covered the truck with galvanized metal, and he put a door for like a freezer door in the refrigerator that he had put in there, and he actually created a ice cream truck.
Wow!
And he did 3 trucks like that actually. He had a 1953, a 1955, and a 1956.
Wow!
And that's how he started working on his own.
So he broke off on his own.
Yes.
What was his name?
Cristino Morales.
Wow.
Yes.
And your mother, what was your mother's name?
Victoria Herrera Morales.
Did she work with the business also? Or?
Well, she was more like housewife, more than anything, because actually we were a large family, and there's 6 sisters that I have, and 3 brothers. So in total, we were 9 of us. So I think my mom had her hands pretty
Yes.
full, you know.
Yeah.
And but yeah, actually she was involved in the business when we were manufacturing some. I remember we were manufacturing some popcorn or even candy apples, and she was involved in it too.
Even then, you were doing candy apples and
Yeah,
things.
yeah. Actually, it was not. We probably started on the 70s to make some of the concession goods or the dry goods, and my
And-
dad started it. Yes.
Wow. What school did you go to?
I went to Austin High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you worked with your dad all the way through that, or?
Yes, actually, when he was, I used to take turns with my dad, you know, to go and sell ice cream on the street and on the route, and I would go 1 or 2 days with my dad, and then I would go with my other brother, Andres. You know, I would go with them, and then I would go with Jesus, and I would take turns with the 3 of them, going in their truck, you know, and so I was probably, I don't know, probably about 8 or 9 years
Really?
old. So since then, I would go and, you know, was kind of learning the business, you can say, as we would go along.
And they had regular routes
Yes.
in residential areas? Is that what
Yes.
they did? Okay.
Yes, they had different routes. On we would go to parks also, you know, sell at the parks, and but mainly on the street vending.
So you didn't have days off?
Well, yeah, actually, I on Sundays, Saturday and Sunday, that's when, instead of maybe me staying back playing with my friends or something, you know, I would go with them and sell ice cream, because I liked that, you know. I found it more exciting to be out there and be selling ice cream than to be back at home, because actually my brothers were in the business and selling ice cream, so I was the only boy with 6 girls, so I didn't feel very comfortable, you know. So I would go and sell and well, help my brothers, you know, ring the bell. You know, we used to have the bell, and I would ring the bell for them. I remember that they used to do it, you know, but when I go with them, they would switch the bell to my side, so I could pull the string and ring the bell on the street.
That's neat. That's neat. I remember those bells. Now, but you took other jobs as you were in high school. You did other things?
Yes. What I did, well, actually in grade school, I started, probably was in 7th grade, and I started to do a paper route. And I did, at that time I had the El Paso Times, and there, in those days, there used to be a second afternoon paper that was called Herald Post. So I would do a morning route and an afternoon route for the papers, and I did that probably for about 3-4 years.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, Sherry and I delivered papers for 4 years too. The Times and the Post. It was learned a lot, but it was good.
Yeah.
So you've always been a worker.
Yes, actually, I always like to be out there working. You know, I used to. My dad used to have mechanics, and you know, in the property, fixing the trucks, probably doing tune-ups, working on electrical, and I would look at the mechanics, you know, and see what they were doing, and you know, I think he got pretty nice mechanics, because they took the time to tell me. Would I ask him, you know, what are this for? What's the function of this? What's the function of that? And they would answer me, and they would actually tell me what it was. So I learned mechanics actually, and I to tune up and brakes and you know, just probably not overhauls or nothing, but you know, working with carburetors, working with different, you know, fuel pumps and tune-ups and all that. I learned that from the mechanics that would go to fix my dad's trucks.
So even today, you get into the machinery of the equipment, right?
Yes,
You
yes.
can fix it and get in there and.
Yeah. Nowadays, I can actually, if one of our trucks break downs or something, I would know what to do actually, and or if I can fix it, I would go ahead and fix it. But if I can't, if it's something major, I would call somebody
Yeah.
to get it fixed.
So you finish high school. What do you do after high school?
Well, actually, after high school, I got married.
Ah.
I got married in 1973, on November of 1973. So I was in the business, like selling and taking care of the warehouse. When I in my senior year, I was helping my dad with the warehouse and going out and sell, and that's like what we did, when we started. And as a married, when I got married, I wanted to go out. We went actually to Las Cruces to start a new route, and I used to go with my wife. My wife used to go with me, and we'll go together, and we would go down to Las Cruces and sell, and we would sell very nice. So what happened, it's probably on the night 74, 75, I asked my dad, you know what, let's open up a Big Boy in Las Cruces, and I'll take care of it. I'll run it. You'll run this, and I'll run it over there. And he said, well, if you want to do that, let's go ahead and do it. So what happened is that he helped me a lot with probably the financials of a couple of trucks, and so I started Big Boy in Las Cruces on my own, with his support, of course, because I didn't have no credit. I didn't have like a history of credits or nothing. So he co-signed it for me on the merchandise, on buying candy and buying the trucks. And so he helped me out a lot to start in Las Cruces.
So you'd set up a shop in Las Cruces?
Yes. Actually, in Las Cruces, we had Big Boy for about 4 or 5 years in Las Cruces.
Wow. And
Yeah.
and where was the warehouse and the shop here in El Paso? Where was it located?
We had Big Boy at 23. No, I'm sorry, not yet. At 2905 Piedras. He had the business on the back of our house. Okay. So he built an office and a little warehouse, and we parked the trucks in the back of the house over there on Piedras. And then on 1979, he was offered the business that he used to work for on the 50s. They went and they offered the business to him. That's now at 2309 Bassett, and so he purchased that place. And so we moved from Piedras to Bassett, and that's where we are right now. So
that's still your headquarters.
bought
So he
it.
bought Red Wing, or
Yeah, actually at that time they had already changed the name to Frosty Ice Cream.
okay.
And at that time, since he bought it, well, we switched it to Big Boy Ice Cream.
So how long did your dad keep working the business?
Well, he was working all his life. Actually, he kept the business going. I had to pull out from Las Cruces in 1979 and come back to El Paso because of health problems with my dad. That he had some health problems, and I came over to help him out and keep the business going here in El Paso. And what I did in Las Cruces, I sold the business to the landlord that I was paying the property, and he bought it, and I financed that for him, so he was making payments to me at the same time that I was working here in El Paso.
Wow. And so you learned the business because it was part of your family, but but what else did your father teach you besides business? What was your father?
Well, he actually taught me a lot. I mean, in all the aspects of be responsible, and always stand by my word. What I would, if I would say something, I was supposed to come through with whatever I would say, and more than anything, have a lot of responsibility. And he showed me a lot. All the things of life, I can say.
And your mother, what did she teach? What was she like?
Well, she was, like I said, she was more as a housewife, but she was she cared a lot for us. I remember that when I would go or everybody, all of us, but mainly what I would remember is that I would go out and work, and she would have dinner for me when I came home. Like she was waiting for me to have dinner, and everything. So she actually cared a lot for us. Like she was a real sweet mom.
That's fantastic. So you're growing in the business, and you start having your family. So how many children do you have?
I have 4, 2 boys and 2 girls.
And they're involved in the business?
Yes, they're all involved in the business.
Wow. And so what's it like to inherit, to grow up in a business and to keep it going?
Well, it's something that it's very exciting. I mean, I always loved to do what I'm doing now, and maybe since my kids were born, they were born into the business also. And they did their school, they did their, they finished school, then they went different ways, and like Danny, my oldest son, he went to Phoenix, Arizona to DeBrive, and he graduated from DeBrive, and he was a technical engineer, and he graduated as a technical engineer, and he was working as a technical engineer. And then Lorena, my daughter, she went to Dallas, Fort Worth area to also learn business management and accounting. And she had a real nice job also working with the state and in Dallas. But Victor, my son, my youngest son, he stayed. He was the only one that stayed in El Paso, and he actually went to college here in town, International Business College, and also worked. He also graduated for business management. And Norma, who's working with me right now and in El Paso, she went to Kansas City University, and she also was learning business management, and so all of them went out. But as time went along, new opportunities for the business opened up, and they learned about the business, and that we were gonna be growing. And they asked me, like probably that, like I asked my dad at those days, how about if I take over Las Cruces, and Norma actually wanted to help me out, and she was the first one to come in 2008. She was the first one to come back from Kansas, and she started working at Big Boy here in Bassett, and she started helping me and doing great, and I even told my wife, man, Nana's working nice, she helps me a lot, and I wish she could have helped me like before, even before she got here. But my wife said, you know what? No. She said, because she went to get prepared. Yeah. So that's what she did, and she came back, and she started helping me for a couple of years. So in that year, in 2008, we actually became master distributors for Blue Bunny ice cream. Being a master distributor for Blue Bunny, they give you a territory, and probably so we got El Paso and probably about 150 miles radius that we were the only ones that could sell Blue Bunny ice cream in vending or in the DSD channel, which DSD is direct store delivery, and we put freezers on the stores, and then at the same time we were vending on the street and selling to a lot of the independent vendors, because that's what we do mostly now.
So your ice cream business grows.
Yes.
And becomes the basis of your concessions.
Correct. Yes.
And when did you get into manufacturing?
Well, manufacturing, we like, since my dad was around, he started like the candy apples, like the popcorn, and we just follow his steps, and we just started manufacturing different things like the syrups and other goods, and we started manufacturing frutikis in 1989. I actually bought the company this is a company that was born in El Paso in 1986, and I was buying from them to sell on our stores in our vending trucks, but for some reason in early '89 they started to have a little problem with financials and different things, and they offered me the business and the company. So we agreed that to buy it, and so we actually acquired Frutiki on '89.
I see Frutiki boxes all over town.
Yes, actually we have some. It's done good for us, Frutiki, and I think it's a Hispanic bar, and it's an all-natural fruit bar, because we actually put a lot of the chunks of fruit in there, and we have tours also from schools and to go to the manufacturing plant, and they students get very excited being around making the paletas and all that.
Where's your manufacturing plant?
It's on Texas Street, 2211 Texas.
So the transition of the business from your father to you and to your brothers also were involved in the business?
Yes, my brothers were also, and sisters were involved. Actually, all the family was involved, because we were like when we all were in teenage and even before we got married, we used to manufacture like the popcorn, the canned candy, and everything. So they used to help. My sister used to make canned candies, and my brothers also. They always worked with my dad, my brothers. But when they got married, also probably in early '70s, they wanted to part and do their own business. So my brother Andres, he started a business, an ice cream business, and he called it Super Friends Ice Cream. And then my brother Jesus also went his way, and he opened up a Rainbow Ice Cream. And so they had their own business, and I was in Las Cruces, so my dad was by himself. And that's why when he started to have some problems with medical problems, my sisters got all together and went over to Las Cruces and told me, you know what, Daniel, you need to go back because my dad needs you over there.
Okay.
And that's I mean, he helped me open up Las Cruces and everything. I said, man, let's go back and help him. And we talked to my brothers actually, and I said to Jesus and to Andres, you know, how about if you guys, instead of me coming from Las Cruces, you're here in El Paso, what if you guys help my dad, you know, and help him get the business going and everything. And Andres didn't really want to have to, you know, he wanted to continue on with his business. And Jesus also, you know, he wanted to go on. So I didn't have a choice but to come back. But I tried to tell him to help my dad before I would come over. But since they didn't want to do it, so I took over in '79.
So it was a family decision, a nice smooth transition, and you knew the business.
Oh yes. Actually, I knew it. So, but I had to get rid of sell the business in Las Cruces because I couldn't.
Yeah.
I didn't think that I could handle both of them at the same time.
So as you step in and your father's health, how does your father's health continue to?
Yes, he actually continued to help us, and he would support or back me up with any of the decisions. And now that I was here, so you know, I wanted to do different changes on the business and do different things, you know, and he would support me with any of the decisions makings and all that. So we worked together for a while. We also worked at the flea markets, at the Fox Plaza flea market, and we would sell there with our vending trucks, and so we had different coverage. We worked with parks and
So
recreation.
what year did you take control of the business?
Well, 100% that I took control of the business was in 1996. In '96, that was when I took control of the business, and also because like everybody had an interest on the business, like my family. So what I did is that I bought their shares of the business because they wanted me to continue on doing the business, and you know they would probably, and they're supporting me still. You know, we're backing me up. You know, so we're still a family business.
Wow.
That's the way I feel.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yes.
And your wife works with you.
Yes. My wife works with me, and she helps out a lot, and she also took very good care of all my 4 kids as they were growing up. You know.
Well, we've learned from you that your father started the business, and that all your family was involved. What, three boys and 6 girls?
Yes.
Large family.
Yes.
And then you marry right out of high school and work the business in Las Cruces, and then come back to help your father. So you worked the business about 20 years before you took over the business. Is that about right?
Well, yes, actually, I did. I was involved in the business, and like I said, I took over in '96 when we finally settled that, you know, I was gonna be the main president of the corporation, and I did work most of my life on the business. Yes.
So your business is all about concessions and ice cream. You focus pretty much on distributing.
Yes. Actually, we distribute. We distribute our fruit bars, Frutiki fruit bars. We have them throughout the El Paso area. We have them on New Mexico, in Arizona, in most of Texas, like San Antonio, Houston, Austin. And we have distributors that help us put our Frutiki fruit bars on the stores. And We also distribute Blue Bunny ice cream, like I said, and we started making now lately mangoneadas. You know, it's a very popular. It's a cup with mangoes, and they people like it and put some lemon and chamoy. And so we're manufacturing mangoneadas now. We started making this year also bolis. You know, the Hispanic bolis. They come in a plastic tube and different flavors. You know, we probably have about 20 different flavors of bolis that we're manufacturing now. And so we do have a very large extension of concession goods. And we also have a couple of catering trucks, food trucks that we sell like nachos, hot dogs, and even hamburgers and sandwiches and fruit cups. And we have a lot of these concession stands in the parks in the city of El Paso Parks and Recreation. We are part of some of the vending that goes on the parks, and we also sell to a lot of independents that also sell on parks and street vending, special events, and we sell. Well, we sell all these items all over.
I know you also have the concession for downtown.
Oh yes.
Is that for the carts downtown?
Yes, we have it's called a special privilege permit that allow us to sell on the downtown area. Actually, the downtown area, it's like a square that the city gave us a special privilege through a bid process. The city bidded out this vending territory, and it covers like from the border highway to the Missouri Street, and then from Santa Fe to Kansas Street. Like that area, it's like a special privilege, and we have the concessions for that.
And you also have a concession for Sun Carnival Parade?
Oh yes, we're involved. We're involved in a lot of the special events. We just had the Chuck the Block event, and we manage all the vendors there and the Chuck the Block in the downtown area, and they were about probably about 20 some odd vendors. Wow. in the downtown area for Chuck the Block, and selling different kinds of foods. You know, catering trucks selling turkey legs, churros, wow, donuts, tacos, taquitos, and selling a lot of different items. You know, even fish tacos and shrimp cocktails, and a lot of different food that was sold there in Chuck the Block. We also have like the Sun Carnival is coming up, the Sun Carnival Thanksgiving Parade, and we also have the concessions for that. And what we do there also, we subcontract some of the vending to other independents that are our customers, and people that would like to sell there. We open up vending spots.
Wow. So here you take over the business for your family, from your father in '96, and what was it like to inherit this business now, to have it and to keep it and grow it? What kind of challenges did you face?
Well, there was in those days it was a very big challenge, to be honest with you, because I struggled a lot at the beginning because of financials, you know, and I've been in my own and, you know, taking those responsibilities, and when I took over, the business was well, not it is peak, you know. It was kind of a little low on the way it was going and growing. But it had a lot of challenges. Actually, it's mostly financials challenges that I needed to, and I overcame those challenges as we went along, and it was pretty tough. But we made it, and we're here, and we're still trying to grow.
So you're operating the business by yourself with your wife for 10, 12 years before your children start getting back involved.
Yes.
Your children go off to school and get their
Yes.
training, they come back. What was that like?
Well, it was like that was a challenge also, you know, to be. I had my employees, you know, and it was pretty hard growing, you know, the business, and you know, getting to where we needed to be, and we opened up more channels of vending through the city of El Paso, to Parks and Recreations, to the aquatics department. You know, we used to take care of the swimming pools, all the concession stands in the swimming pools in those times. And my wife used to work on one of the swimming pools, and I remember that when my kids were little, they would go with her, and they would have, you know, lots of fun swimming on the swimming pool and all that, you know. The selling, it was always like a family business. My kids were actually involved since they were born.
So what do they do now, your children, with the business?
Well, my daughter Nena, like I said, she came. She's working at Bassett with me, and she's helping me. You can say, I say she's my right hand there at Bassett. Victor, it's my youngest son. He is taking care of the manufacturing of Rotiki fruit bars since 2000, since the year 2000 up to date. So he's actually been working as a manufacturer engineer, you can say, you know, because he actually takes care of all the manufacturing for Rotiki. We opened up a new line of premium bars, and together with him, he actually built the premium bars, and now we have other, besides the fruit bars, we have like the milk-based bars that are like covered with chocolate and with coconut and almonds and peanuts and all that. But so he actually is a manufacturer of that. He takes care of Rotiki, and he also takes care and manages a new location that we opened last June in Rojas at 11445 Rojas. We open up we call it Big Boy East, Big Boy Concessions East. So, and we open up that location to take care of the customers that were on the east side, because El Paso is growing a lot to the east side, you know, and we wanted to take care of the people that were coming, like from Montana Vista, from Isleta, Socorro, Favens, Tornillo, and all those areas, the east side. So we open up that location for that purpose.
It's a large facility.
Yeah, it is. It is a nice, very updated facility, very modern, and nice. It is working out.
That's nice.
Yes.
And your other son?
Okay, Danny, he's the oldest of my sons. He in those times, in 2009, he came. He came to work for us in El Paso for a little while. He had a break probably from Phoenix and came over to El Paso. And then he went back and continued on his school and became a technical engineer. But in 2009, Blue Bunny offered us the territory or the master distribution for Phoenix and Tucson area or Arizona. And when he learned that they had offered that to us, he said, "Dad, well, let me take over that. You know, I can manage it. You know, I can do it." And I told him, "Well, are you sure, man? You have a real nice job. You know, you have your your career. You know, you're an engineer. You're working. You have a real nice job, and everything. You know, so are you sure you want to do that switch? Because you know, man, this is it. Man. He told me that you know he always had the business in his blood. You know, so he wanted to come back and have an opportunity. So also when we got that business over there in Phoenix, it was kind of not in very good standings as financially, and him going in and working together and work, together with the family. He started the business, and he's still there, and he's managing Tucson. So there's a location, Big Boy Tucson, and Big Boy Phoenix, and he takes care actually about all the state of Arizona with Blue Bunny product, but he also sells everything that we sell in El Paso. He sells over there, and candies, chips, and everything.
That's a bigger market than El Paso.
Yeah. Yes. Actually, Phoenix, it's very big. The building over there, it's probably about 6-7 times bigger than what we have here in Bassett Avenue, and his inventory is also a lot bigger. Like, of course, because of the size of the building, and from there he also manages the DSD, which is their direct store delivery in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Really? Wow.
From there. Wow. And so he also manages that from there. Wow. So he's doing a great job. He has done a tremendous job,
That's great.
Actually keeping the business up and going, and he's done a tremendous job.
That's beautiful. And your other daughter?
Well, Lorena came back from Dallas, Fort Worth area over there working with the state. And when she also learned that we were going to be offered Arizona, she offered to help out Danny with the Tucson location. So she came back, and also I told her, Lorena, you have you have a very nice job and everything. I mean, why do you want to come over? And she said, you know what? I always wanted to do it. I just so all of them had the business in them. So Lorena, when we took over Arizona, she was working the Tucson area and Tucson Big Boy, and they did it for about a couple of years, and then Blue Bunny again came along and said, we have an opening for Albuquerque, New Mexico. We want you guys to take over Albuquerque, New Mexico. And she said, when she learned that, she said, you know what, Dad, let me take over New Mexico. I'll take over Albuquerque. Lorena said that, and talking with his with her husband, and they decided to move to Albuquerque. So they're running Big Boy Albuquerque now.
Wow.
And doing the same thing we're doing here, or that Danny's doing over there.
Wow.
So the four of them are 100% involved in the business, and growing it. And as new opportunities come along, and we're developing more and more territory and more areas.
So you're selling Frutiki also to those?
Yes. All of our products are being sold on all the other locations, all of them.
So how many employees do you have now?
Altogether, probably we have close to probably around 40 employees here in El Paso.
Here in El Paso.
Yes. And because we run different concession stands. We actually run the concession stand for Sun Metro down in Santa Fe, Sun Metro, the transit center. We have a concession stand in there. And we also have a concession stand on Zaragoza and Alameda, also in the Sun Metro location. And my sister, one of my sisters, I had forgotten my sister, but she runs a Big Boy restaurant. We have a restaurant in Fox Plaza Shopping Center, and she runs the Big Boy restaurant in Fosques Plaza.
Wow, fantastic. And so what kind of challenges, now you're talking about big growth all of a sudden, so what kind of challenges does that bring?
Well, the growth actually is given to us, and because of the opportunities that Blue Bunny has given us exclusive rights to sell the Blue Bunny ice cream on these areas. And together with Frutiki, since it's our brand, and some of our manufacturers goods that we do, we are actually growing and extending to other areas. Lately, or this coming year, if God permits, we're opening up Amarillo, Texas, and Lubbock, and probably Midland, Odessa area for other locations, because we were offered that territory also. So we need to grow, and that's a big challenge, because it's actually we're growing, and now all my kids are involved on these other locations. Now we need to hire new people to go to these other places.
Wow, and you manage all of that?
Well, no, because Danny takes care of his area. He is actually taking care of his the territory, like Arizona and Salt Lake City, Utah, and Lorena and family are taking care of Albuquerque and New Mexico. So they are the main, they're the ones that are managing and running the locations. We just support them with ideas and family support, and but they're running. We're running. Victor, Nena, and I, and my wife also are running the El Paso and surrounding areas here.
I know one of your interests, because I've had the fortune to talk with you a little bit. I know one of your interests is developing small businesses. You work with small business owners to grow their skills. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, what we do is, since we sell to a lot of independents that have actually grown from our business, we help them get started as to where to get their trucks, how to fix them, where to get their permits. We even help them with like the music box for the truck, the freezers. And we still do that now. We still help people that come and ask us for directions as to how to start a catering truck, or even a ice cream truck, or even a concession stand. And because we sell to a lot of these people, and we help them as much as we can with the health department permits, as to how to go to different steps, and making things, helping out as much as we can. I even going to the lately we have cut on some of the ice cream vents, the service window, and we help them cut the window there, and we have some 3-compartment sinks and hand washing sinks that are required now by the health department, that to sell exposed food, like say snow cones or nachos or everything that's exposed, you need to have a 3-compartment sink and a hand washing sink. And we bought our company bought a lot of those things, and what we do is either we sell them to the new customers, or we rent them. If they can't afford it, we help them and just rent the equipment so they can start their business. Once their business is growing and they can buy their own equipment, they buy it, or we sell it to them. And that's the way we do it. We help other businesses start. And also with all our concession stands and special events that we have throughout the year, we invite the independents that have their own business to join us and work some of our special events.
So you're very much a distributor. working with this whole idea that isn't too different than what your father was doing, is selling ice cream down routes in the city.
Yes, well, it's the same thing. It's actually we just grew it up a little bit more and put more items, put more grow the business the way we have grown it, and just put a little bit more of concession goods. That's what it is.
So what is your legacy, Mr. Morales?
Well, what I want to do is we want to make we want to grow. There's a lot of room to grow, and what we need to do is I think the opportunity for everybody, not just for us as business, as Big Boy Ice Cream, but a lot of businesses have actually grown through our business, and that's what I would like to keep on helping people grow and come into do their own business and grow it, and that's one of the things that I'm focusing more at, is to grow the business all more and more.
So your challenge today is growth?
Well, yes, actually that's what it is. It's just growing more to different areas and just helping more people open up their own business, like I said. Yeah.
And your family is busy, involved in the business, and now the grandchildren are coming along.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I have a 15-year-old kid. That man. He helps us a lot in the special events, and since we sell ice in the special events, we sell ice. We sell dry ice also to keep some of the ice cream and some of the frozen foods frozen, and he actually helps us out right now selling on the special events areas, and we set up a trailer with ice, and he takes care of going to all the vendors and offering the ice to them, so he's done a very good job, and all my kids, my grandkids actually, Diego is the one that's doing that, and Ivan is his brother, the smaller brother, and then Danny and Denise in Phoenix are actually involved in the business. I mean, they're in school, and all of them are in school, but every opportunity or any opportunity that they have, they go into the business, and they're just spending some time there. So they're all, I think this is going to be a fourth generation with my grandkids, and they love it. They love it. I see in them. Actually, Blue Bunny takes us to some. They because of the sales that we do, they take us to trips, and we have taken everybody. Like all of us have gone to trips and different places, and they enjoy it. They enjoy it.
Are those like conferences or just?
Yeah, it is a conference together with a trip, and we make business and pleasure at the same time.
Like what kinds of places?
Well, when we went in a cruise down to Honduras,
Wow.
and they enjoyed it a lot, because it was one of these big ships that, they have different swimming pools and all that. So man, they're looking forward for, they enjoy us a lot, and since a lot of all distributors also are in the same trip, from different states, because this is we get together once or twice a year, and we go to conventions, and then we have this trip with everybody. So they get to meet a lot of friends from other distributors for Blue Bunny, and they enjoy it a lot.
So it's been a good life.
It's been a good life, I think, for everybody. I think we've been very happy as to working together, and we've been. I think my grandkids are looking forward
Sure.
in coming into the business in the future.
Well, it's a beautiful story of a family business. You've certainly done a wonderful job in taking over for your father and bringing your family in, and now developing your grandkids to move into business. It's a beautiful story of a family business, and a successful one at that. I really appreciate you, Mr. Morales, sharing your story. It's been wonderful to listen to that.
No, thank you.
And learn from you. I can only imagine what those new products are tasting like. But I really appreciate your coming. Thank you so much, and we thank you, viewers, for watching. We hope you stay tuned for this program as we continue to learn from local business owners, their success stories. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.